Can you see the website page now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So this screen here is the website page that I'd mentioned. My apologies. The next slide that I want to share with you is about our voter language workshops. Can you see the voter language workshop slide? Okay, perfect. So our voter language workshops do happen before every election. So gubernatorial, presidential, special election. We are required by election code to provide these workshops to the public. Our voter language workshops in Santa Clara County are all done online. They are Zoom sessions, so you would be able to sign in to the Zoom session from anywhere. We also record and transfer those recordings onto our webpage as well, so that you can access those at a later time. Our language workshops began on September 24th of this last week, and we started with the English presentation. Following English, we have presentations in the following languages: Nepali, Tamil, Punjabi, Telugu, Vietnamese, Hindi, Gujarati, Korean, Chinese, Tagalog, Spanish, Khmer, and Japanese. The Japanese voter language workshop is going to be our final of the series, and it takes place on October 17th. The library has also been very kind to us and advertised these workshops for us as well. If you would like more information on these workshops, you could reach out to myself, or you're also able to reach out to Priya, does have the information as well and can share that with you, or you're welcome to visit our homepage, sccvote.org. These workshops, as I mentioned, are recorded, so please be mindful of that. If you would like to communicate with us during those presentations, we do provide space for question and answers, and you would go ahead and use the raise hand button, and we would go ahead and let you either share your feedback or you can ask a question. We also do have the chat feature, so if you did not want to raise your hand and verbally share or ask your question, then you're able to do that in a chat message as well. We typically ask for the Q&A session to happen after we provide the presentation, but if there's something that you would like to ask during the presentation, just feel free to drop that in the chat and we will make sure to address it during that Q&A session. If you or anyone you know would like to attend one of these workshops or needs information in these languages, please share this information with them. And if you happen to miss the voter language workshop the day of, just visit our website and we'll have posted the recording there for you. Okay, so the next slide that you should see is an image of the County Voter Information Guide, or as we like to call it, the CVIG. We do email an English version to all registered voters who are within our system. And if you do request bilingual translated materials, then we will also send you a bilingual version as well. The CVIG itself includes candidate statements, contests, and measures. And it also provides you with a list of all of our drop box locations throughout the county, as well as our vote center list. The County Voter Information Guide is translated and available in Chinese, English, Spanish, Tagalog, and Vietnamese. Those are our federally mandated languages, and we are required by the state to send out a County Voter Information Guide in those specific languages. If you do not receive your County Voter Information Guide for any reason, you can visit our website or give us a call at 408-299-VOTE. Or it is 408-299-8683. And that spells out vote. And you can let us know that you have not received that CVIG, and we'll go ahead and make sure that we get one to you. Some important dates to know for the upcoming election. On October 7th, vote-by-mail ballots will begin to be mailed out to all of our active registered voters within our database. The last day for someone to register, if they are not already registered, is October 21st, 2024. Nevertheless, voters who do miss the registration deadline have the option within our county to be a conditional voter, meaning that you can visit one of our vote center locations or our office, and you can conditionally register past the deadline, as well as conditionally cast your ballot. We would ask that if you are utilizing that conditional voter registration option, that you fill out a white envelope, which is your affidavit, and then you would fill out your ballot, whether it's paper or electronic, and you would place it into that white envelope. Fill out the information fully and then sign. That conditional voter registration envelope then makes its way back to our office where we go through our different levels of verification. And if we could in fact verify you as being an eligible voter, then your registration would be added to our rolls and your conditional ballot would then be cast. Our vote centers are open starting October 26th. And on that Saturday, 26 of our sites will be open and ready for you to come and vote or conditionally register. And the following weekend, after October 26th, all 106 sites will be open for your use. In your mailbox, you should very soon, if not already, have received one of the notices that you see here on the screen. It is a Voters' Choice Act mailer. Our county does operate under the Voters' Choice Act model. And per California Election Code, our office is required to send this notification of the upcoming election to your mailbox 45 days before Election Day and a second time on 29 days before Election Day. And the reason for these mailers is to bring to your attention that the election is near and upcoming, and that hopefully will remind you to start to prepare to learn about all the contest measures, candidate races on the ballots, and then be able to make your selection and cast your vote. Every registered voter who is active within Santa Clara County is going to receive a vote by mail ballot. In March 2020, our office moved to a new voting model that was approved and implemented by the Board of Supervisors. And that voting model is called the Voters' Choice Act. Within the legislation, it does require that our county send a vote by mail ballot with the envelope to your residence if you are a registered and active voter within our system. If you do receive the vote by mail ballot, you can expect to receive the envelope that I've provided an image of here. The envelope does have a no postage necessary box on the top right corner. So you're able to fill out your ballot, put it in the envelope, and send it back to us without having to put any postage. If you are already an active voter with us, please, you would want to keep in mind that 29 days before Election Day, which is fairly soon, we will start to mail these out to you. So you can start to check your mailbox, and your packet, if received, should include the blue envelope that I had mentioned, your ballot card with voting instructions, a secondary list of that drop box location and vote centers, and an I voted sticker. It is important to note that if you choose to use your vote by mail ballot to cast your ballot with us, you'll want to make sure to fill out all of the information that it asks for, and please do not forget to sign the blue envelope. In order for us to verify your signature, it has to be there on the blue envelope for us. If we receive a blue envelope with missing information, definitely with a missing signature, we are going to reach out and we're going to contact that voter so that we can make sure that they are able to either provide the information that's missing or come and provide their signature to us. Okay, so in order for that vote by mail ballot to be counted, we do ask that you fill out the envelope completely. If you do choose to use that mailed ballot, we would like to remind you that it must be returned by 8 p.m. on Election Day or postmarked on or before Election Day. and received no later than 7 days after Election Day. Okay. So please make sure to deliver that ballot early and make sure that it is in by that 8 p.m. Election Day deadline, okay, or postmarked by that 8 p.m. Election Day deadline. The dates and times that I'm sharing with you are predetermined by the election code, and so our office is required to follow that time frame. There are a few options for how you can return that vote by mail ballot. You are able to fill out the ballot and sign your envelope and bring it to any of our drop boxes. We do have over 100 drop boxes located throughout Santa Clara County, and our drop boxes are going to be stationed and ready for your use beginning Monday, October 7th. I again share the website here. You should receive a list of vote by mail drop boxes in your mail, but if for some reason you misplace it, you're able to come to our website and you can find all of those drop box locations. If you do not want to physically come to one of our drop boxes and it's easier for you to use a United States Postal Service box, you're able to go ahead and use one of their boxes as well. Please, again, just making sure that it's postmarked by 8 p.m. on November 5th. In addition to drop boxes or the USPS mailbox, you're able to also visit one of our vote centers. So we will have a total of 106 vote centers for this election, and the first 26 of which will open on Saturday, October 26th, and those 26 sites will be open for 11 consecutive days. If you don't want to go to a drop box, mailbox, or a vote center, you're welcome to start coming to our office on Monday, October 7th, and our office is located at 1555 Burger Drive in Building 2. And you can come right on in and we will accept your vote by mail ballot here in our office. I also did include a picture here of our official drop box. It's important to know what an official drop box looks like so that if you are to utilize our drop box feature, you know that you're putting it into a safe and secured drop box that we have ourselves stationed and set up. We work very closely with other county elections officials, as well as the vendor approved to actually make these drop boxes for us. And it's created in such a way that once you are to put your ballot into the slot, you're not able to put your hand in and reach any other ballots that have been dropped into the drop box. So I just wanted to touch on that to let you know that we also have multi-locks on this box. We do check it regularly to make sure that it is not damaged or being tampered with. And then we do secure this drop box to the location which you find it. And so we do secure that with a lock and chain to make sure that nobody is to remove the drop box. And so we do make every effort to make sure that these drop boxes are safe and secured so that you can trust and know that your vote by mail ballot is going to be returned to us safely. Okay, this next slide here is going to talk a little bit about our county's bilingual ballots. So in Santa Clara County, we offer paper, touchscreen, and audio ballots in 9 languages, including English, as well as Chinese, Hindi, Japanese, Khmer, Korean, Spanish, Tagalog, and Vietnamese. So if you do need material, paper, touchscreen, or audio ballot in those languages, we will have those for you, and you can access these language ballots at our office, at our vote centers, or you can also request that with our office for your vote by mail ballot. We do support some additional languages, not necessarily in providing a translated ballot, but we do offer a facsimile paper ballot, which is more or less a translated guide that you could use side by side next to your ballot. And we have these facsimile ballots in Gujarati, Punjabi, Nepali, Telugu, or Tamil. And if you do require a facsimile paper ballot, you can come to our office or any of our vote centers, and you would be able to have access to these facsimile paper ballots. So our county does a lot, not only to provide translated materials, but we also go the extra mile in assigning bilingual poll workers to all of our vote center locations. So we make every best effort to recruit, hire, and train poll workers who speak one or more of these languages. And so if you do need in-person assistance, you're able to find assistance for these languages at our various vote centers throughout the county. As I mentioned earlier, we do have 106 vote center locations, and we work very hard to make sure that they are spread out geographically throughout the county and at locations where voters can easily access the space. Okay. Again, we do have 26 sites opening on Saturday, October 26th, that will be open for 11 consecutive days of voting. Okay. You can vote at any one of our vote centers if you are an eligible voter. And if you have missed the deadline to register rather, you are able to come to one of our centers and conditionally register and vote there as well. At our vote centers, you'll also find those bilingual ballots I mentioned, as well as language assistance. And we also do provide accessible voting options. So if you're a voter who needs audio ballots, maybe you are hard of seeing, we have that ready for you. We also do have touchscreen electronic voting machine, so that if you needed the font or size to be enlarged, we can do that for you as well. So the vote centers are essentially small satellites of our office where you can go, conditionally register, you can cast your ballot there, you can utilize our accessible voting features, you can also update your voter registration, address, you can get a replacement ballot if you received that vote by mail ballot and might have spilled coffee on it, might have tore a page, or maybe you just made an error and you'd like a ballot replacement. Well, you're able to not only come to our office, but you're now able to do that at any one of our 106 vote center locations. So the Voters' Choice Act really does allow the county to think of the voter and make sure that it's as easy as possible for you to access language assistance, accessible voting options, or just having a physical location to go and update your registration or get a replacement ballot. Another really great feature that we offer out at the vote centers is curbside voting. So if for any reason you or someone you know is not able to physically get out of the car, or you just need us to come out to you, at every one of our vote center locations, we designate a curbside voting space. You would be able to pull up in that space, call the number on the sign that we have provided, and the vote center staff will be the ones to answer the call, and they will bring out our stations to you where you can actually then go through the voting process. Previous to this election, this was something that California counties could opt in or out of, but new legislation is requiring that all county election officials in California do figure out a way to provide curbside voting to all voters. So I do just want to give a shameless shout out to our county that we have provided curbside voting for many elections now. So we were ahead of legislation, and in Santa Clara County, we take a lot of pride in thinking of our voters, providing great customer service, and really trying to make voting as easy as possible for you. So if you have not heard of curbside voting, I'm happy to share that with you today. And I hope that you also share that with your friends and families, because I think it's a great feature. So that's just some information about what you can find at the vote centers. And now I'm going to touch on the hours of operation. So on election day, we do still traditionally call that Super Tuesday, election day. And any voting day before then, we refer to as early voting. Our vote centers are going to be open for 2 full weekends before November 5th. So if you're not able to get out during the week, or you'd like to make it a family outing and come see us on a weekend day, we will be open starting October 26th and all the way through Monday, November 4th. We will be open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and open during lunch hours. So those are the early voting periods. And then we do have the asterisk there that is going to call your attention to 7 vote center locations that are going to be open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So just a slight variation of hours for any voter who needs to come and access a vote center after 5 p.m. And those 7 vote centers that have the small variation in hours is going to be 5 county libraries and the 2 libraries in Santa Clara, which is Central Park and Northside. Okay. Outside of those 7 libraries, all of the other locations are going to be open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Election day is November 5th, and that is going to remain traditionally long. So we will be open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. at all 106 vote center locations, as well as our office. Okay. So as long as you are in line at a vote center or in our office by 8 p.m., then you will be processed and able to cast your vote with us. Okay. And what we do at every single vote center location, as well as our office, is at 8 p.m. sharp, we have a staff personnel member go and stand at the end of the line, and we'll announce that the polls are closed. And so anybody who comes after the 8 p.m. deadline, unfortunately, did not meet the cutoff. So it is important to make sure that if you do have to wait to vote till election day, that you are getting that done between the hours of 7 a.m. and 8 p.m. During this time frame, we do offer phone support to our voters and our poll workers. So if you are a vote center staff with us, you're working out at the polls, we're going to offer you the election officer hotline, which is 408-299-POLL or 7655. And for general voting information, if you are a voter, just had general questions, you could call our office at 408-299-VOTE or 8683. And so if you're not sure, who you need to speak with, or maybe just need some more general information, I would highly encourage you to call 299-VOTE. We also have a toll-free number, and that is 866-430-VOTE or 8683, should you need to call us via that toll-free line. Our office during this time period here, Saturday, October 26th, all the way through Election Day, our office is here before our vote centers open and well after they close. So reach out to us if you do need any kind of support or you have any questions. We are happy to provide that customer service to you. I am really proud of the accessible voting options that we have had for many elections now within Santa Clara County. And so I just wanted to give you a visual image of the voting accessible tools that we have out at the vote center. So if you are unable to mark a ballot for any reason, please know that you're able to bring up to 2 individuals to assist you with the marking of the ballot. They cannot make your selections for you. However, they can help with the actual mechanics of marking that ballot. If you come with someone to assist you or 2 individuals, we will have them just fill out some paperwork identifying that you did request for them to assist you in that process. Okay. But if you should come to the vote center or our office alone and you do need some assistance, we have vote center staff that are able to assist you. And if you need to have audio recordings, maybe you are visually impaired or hard of seeing, we do have the image here on the screen that you see. It comes with headphones to place over your ears, and then it comes with a kind of like a dial pad. It has the arrows, the X arrows to the left and right, X, and then the up and down. And as you're listening to the audio instructions, it's going to explain how to utilize that remote to actually then mark your ballot without having to see what it is that you are voting on. Okay, so very cool. If you or anybody you know does need that assistance, we have that for you. And then again, the touchscreen ballot marking device also has the option of enlarging the font on the screen for you. And then again, there is the curbside voting if you want to vote without getting out of your car. And then we also provide something called Remote Accessible Vote by Mail Ballot, or RAVBM. We love acronyms. And what this allows is it allows us for us to send the ballot to overseas voters. Overseas and military voters is who RAVBM was initially designed for. But recent legislation in California Election Code does now allow all registered voters to utilize the RAVBM system. And if you do opt in to utilize this feature, you are able to download, vote, and print your ballot. Okay, and then with that RAVBM, you would be able to return it in the blue envelope with your signature. Or if you needed to transmit it a different way, you would contact our office, specifically the Vote by Mail division, and they would work with you to retrieve your ballot in a secured manner. Unfortunately, the internet is not as secured as we would like, and so we just want to make sure that everybody understands ballot selections are not transmitted electronically. There is no way for us to safeguard your choices once they are sent through the internet, and so for that reason, we do ask that you return it in the Vote by Mail envelope or contact our Vote by Mail division to discuss alternate ways of returning your ballot to us, utilizing the remote accessible vote by mail option. One of the best channels of communicating with voters, specifically voters in the 18 to 25 demographic, is via social media. So we have our social media accounts on different platforms. We have X, Facebook, Instagram. We also do have a YouTube page with a lot of great videos. And then we recently started our own podcast. So we do have Elect to Connect podcast that can be found on any application where you access your podcast. And we do ask that if you are on social media, that you look for us. You can search for SCC Vote. You should be able to find our social media accounts and then give us a follow. We will utilize our social media platforms to share up-to-date information, announcements of things coming up, or sharing with you our outreach events that we attend throughout the year so that you can know where to find us should you want to come and visit us out at an outreach event. We also do ask that if you follow us, if you could please repost and share our content so that we can expand our audience view. In addition to our social media accounts, we've also become more conscious of trying to go green in different ways. And one of the initiatives that our office has come up with to help the county go green is by allowing you all to opt in to receiving an electronic copy of the county voter information guide that I had mentioned earlier. So as you can imagine, there are many pages that go into the CVIG, and we send it to our 1 million plus voters. So it's a lot of paper. And so we do ask that if you would like to receive it electronically, that you visit our website, sccvote.org/gogreen. And that'll bring you to the Go Green webpage. It gives you a brief explanation, and then it does explain how you can opt in for that service. Okay. I did a presentation a few days back at a senior center, and one of the participants there had a great question. She asked, how can we help your office? how can we alleviate some of the work as voters in Santa Clara County? And my response to her is, please vote early. We send out vote by mail ballots beginning 29 days before election, and our office is opening on October 7th for you to be able to come and bring us that vote by mail ballot. And then our vote centers are going to open on October 26th, and that's 2 weekends before Election Day. So there's plenty of opportunity for you to cast your ballot ahead of Election Day. Our county moved to the Voters' Choice Act model in March 2020. So there's been quite a few elections now under the new voting model. And we still tend to see voter trends of some late participation. So we are open for 11 consecutive days at some of those vote centers, but for the first 7 days, we see very little voters coming out. In the 3 days leading up to election, it ramps up significantly. And then election day for us is horribly packed. And so we want to make sure that if you're able to vote early, that you're thinking not really of our office, but of other voters who may not have the opportunity to vote early. And they may need to go and utilize the vote centers or our office on election day. So if we could really try to keep the lines down or the needs from voters on election day, it really does help make sure that everybody, even our last minute voters, are able to go ahead and cast their ballot without waiting for too long, or making sure that our vote center staff are able to provide excellent customer service. So that is going to be my ask of all of you. If you are already registered, please utilize that vote by mail ballot, or come to our office or one of our vote centers if you prefer to vote in person. And voting early is the best way to help us and to help other voters in the county. I do want to just say thank you so much for attending this meeting. It's important for our office to reach as many voters as we can ahead of the election and make sure that you feel well prepared and informed for what's coming up. Democracy voting is the basis of our democracy. And so it's important that you not only register or encourage your family and friends to register, but also participating in upcoming elections. The presidential election gets a lot of attention, a lot of interest, but there are elections that happen every 2 years. There's the gubernatorial elections in between the presidential elections, and our office does also administer special elections for jurisdictions who maybe have something they need to put on a ballot before or after the regular scheduled election has already happened. And so the turnout for us is what's most important. And so please, I would just ask you again, second ask, is to just make sure that you participate in the upcoming election and encourage your friends and family to do the same. I also just want to share that our office makes great effort to go out to high schools and present similar information to them as well, and help our high school kids feel prepared to register and vote when they turn of age. So in Santa Clara County, we spend a lot of time and effort making sure that we get people to register, help them understand important upcoming dates for elections, as well as making sure that we are reaching out to the youth, because those are our future voters. And unfortunately, it is the younger demographics of voters that have a harder time turning out to the polls. So if I could just ask your help, really driving this home to your friends and family of the importance that we all serve and the great privilege that we have to actually be able to educate ourselves, cast our ballot, and to say that we were able to participate in the outcomes of our government and our elected officials and the legislation, ballots, and measures. So thank you so much, everybody, for being here with me, taking the time to listen to the information. That does conclude the slides that I had for you. And so now I will open it to the Q&A portion.
Thank you so much, April. That was such a wealth of such important information. Really appreciate you sharing it with us.